The Power of Now. So it's not directly The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, but it's the exercises of it. And today we are on page 30 and 31, if you want to refer to the page numbers. And this is a big one. Are you ready? I don't know if you go, this one is a big one. All problems are illusions of the mind. That mind, remember, we're talking about how that mind pulls us away from the present moment. You know, how often you try to solve a problem, think about that problem, project about the future. It says, all problems are illusion of your mind. Focus your attention on the now and tell me what problem you have in this very moment. So let's go ahead and take a moment and take a deep breath in. So everybody, maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Open your eyes, and I want you just to look around you, like in your room. If you're outside, look around you and notice what is really wrong in this moment. Come to it is that a lot of where we go in our mind is an illusion. We're having that stress of, maybe it's a doctor's appointment that you're worried about, or, meeting, having an interview, or whatever it is. That's the mind, and it takes us away from living in the now. I'm not getting any answer because it is impossible. Listen to this. I'm not getting any answer because it is impossible to have a problem when your attention is fully in the now. So if you just notice that when we took a little moment to breathe, maybe you realize, like, hey, there's really no emergency going on in this present moment. This is the key here. A situation either needs to be dealt with or accepted. So we have to deal with it or accept it. Maybe you ruminate. I ruminate a little bit. I go back in the past. I have conversations with people. And when I'm doing that, those people, I'm out, I'm not even in the present moment. I'm living a past experience that maybe is just a false reality of what I've created, because they say that the past actually evolves in your mind of what really happened. The mind unconsciously loves problems because they give you an identity of sorts. This is normal and it is insane. Problem means that you are dwelling on a situation mentally without there being a true intention or possibility of taking action now that you are unconsciously making it part of your sense of self. You become so overwhelmed by your life situation that you lose your sense of self or 100 things that you will have to do or may have to do in the future instead of focusing your attention on one thing that you can do right now. So maybe you get overwhelmed too, that you feel like, how am I ever going to get through all of this? And it says, here, you could do one thing right now. It says, when you create a problem, you create pain. And I don't know if you've ever had that, but I've definitely, when I have a problem and I'm, going over it in my mind, I'm feeling like stuck. It doesn't mean it could be physical pain. It could just be emotional pain. It could be anxiety. It could be frustration. It could be, fear. Like, how is it going to turn out? It says, all it takes is a simple choice. So here it is. It's up to us. And that's that free will that God gave us, is that choice, right? All it takes is a simple choice, a simple decision. No matter what happens, I will create no more pain for myself. I will create no more problems. So the problem is, that we're living in the mind and we're missing out of the present. Now, this is really important. So it says here, a lot of this teaching is, oh, this is such, it's easy to do. It says, no, it says, although it's a simple choice, it's also very radical. Eckhart Tolle says it's very radical. You won't make that choice unless you are truly fed up with suffering, unless you truly have had enough. So until you've truly suffered to the point where you're like, I can't do this anymore, then you won't, there's a good chance that you won't make that choice. If you create no more pain for yourself, then you create no more pain for others too. It says here, you also no longer contaminate the beautiful earth, your inner space, and the collective human psyche with the negativity of problem making. I feel like everything is a ripple effect, so if we really decide on that and make it a choice, then we won't contaminate not only ourselves, but our friends, our family, and the world, right? I mean, it's a huge ripple effect. Should a situation arise that you need to deal with now, your action will be clear and incisive if it arises out of the present moment. So when we are engaged in the present moment and a problem does occur and we are cognitive and aware, then it's easy to solve, right? But if we're ruminating in our mind, then we're again, it's really a challenge to solve because we don't have that clarity. And I like this sentence here. It says, it will not be a reaction coming from the past conditioning of your mind, but an intuitive response to the situation. Let's go back to that all problems are illusions. And the big thing is to whether you deal with it or you accept it, right? And then when we come to the present moment, if you are going through something, really challenging, try to bring yourself into the now. Look around. Sometimes they say name 5 things in that area or 5 colors that you can see just to bring you to the now and say, like, what is really wrong in this moment? Is there a crisis in this present moment right now? All right. See you guys later. So problems are an illusion. They are. Our mind's such an instrument, right? It is. It's a beautiful instrument. The mind is actually a miracle, and it's an instrument that we can use to create so many wonderful things. If we realize that how it really can, I guess, interfere with our day-to-day life. It does. It kind of, but if we use it properly, it could be the gift of the world, right? Yeah, I think so.